Why do people fear spiders? What are these spiders doing? Where did they come from? What is their purpose? Is it just fear of all humans? They're everywhere. Little or big ones. They're all ready to strike. And it starts now.
Arachnophobia is defined as a specific phobia towards spiders and other arachnids. It is a manifestation of zoophobia, the common term of all phobias towards other animals. People with arachnophobia feel uneasy in any area that they feel are inhabited with spiders. This fear has made it possible for all arachnophobics to spare effort in order to make sure that their whereabouts are spider-free. Around 50% of women and 10% of men have mild arachnophobia or worse. The parts of a spider. We have the head, the chest, the cephalothorax, which is the interior of the spider's body, and its abdomen. Spider has 4 pairs of legs, which sums up to 8. Its pedipalps, which secrete silk for web making. Its eyes, which can be 8, 6, 3, or none, can be small or big.
Since everyone are afraid of spiders, let's ask some people about their reaction to these creatures.
Takot ka ba sa mga gagamba?
Oo.
Anong nararamdaman mo kapag nakakakita ka ng gagamba?
Kapag nakakita kasi ako ng gagamba, kinikilabutan ako. Lalo na yung pag nakikita ko yung mga balahibo nila. Tapos nakakatakot ako, parang kadiri.
Ano naman ang ginagawa mo kapag nakakakita ka ng gagamba?
Kadalasan kasi pag nakita ako, pinapatay ko eh. O kaya iniiwasan ko na lang. Ganun.
Kailan mo na-realize na takot ka sa gagamba?
Ever since, mula nung nakakita ko ng gagamba, takot na talaga ako.
Anong instance na nagkaroon ka ng encounter sa isang gagamba?
Dati kasi yung mga kaibigan ko, naglalaro sila ng labanan ng gagamba. Tapos kasi hindi ko alam kung anong ginagawa nila. Bigla nila ako tinawag. Tapos pinakita nila yung gagamba. Ayun, parang nilayo ko yun. Tapos nabagsak yung gagamba. Tinapakan. Yan.
Takot ka ba sa gagamba? Bakit mo naman naisipan mag-search ng mga maraming litrato ng mga gagamba sa internet?
Inisip ko na ma-overcome ko yung fear ko din sa gagamba if ever na makapag-search ako madaming information about them. Ever since na nakakita ko ng isang maliit na gagamba, ng bata ako. Actually, nauntog ako sa pader kasi tumakbo ako from the bathroom outside the house.
Anong ba itong sinasabi niyong hypnosis para sa mga phobia?
Ang hypnosis kasi, yun yung kapag yung tao, pag kinakausap mo siya, papaniwalain mo siya kung ano yung gusto mong ipaniwala sa kanya. You have to put them into a trance, tapos ikaw na bahala kung anong gagawin mo after yun.
Paano naman nito na-alter yung utak ng tao? Kumbaga, paano sila naniniwala sa'yo? Paano mo sila papaniwalain sa'yo?
may mga steps kasing ginagawa. Yung una, pag-uusapan namin kung ano yung kinatatakutan nila. So, kapag ginagawa yun, napupunta sila sa isang mood kung saan focus na focus sila dun sa pinag-uusapan namin topic. So, magandang basis yun para masimulan namin yung pag-hypnotize ng tao. Pagkatapos nun, gagawa ko ng mga exercise, mga simpleng exercises lang para malaman na nakikinig talaga sila sa akin, na yung focus nila nasa boses ko, sa kung ano yung sinasabi ko, katulad ng itaas yung kanang kamay, o kaya tumingin sa kaliwa o sa kanan, yung mga ilaw, papatay bukas ko, tapos kung ano yung nakikita nila, parang i-set into the mood lang talaga sila. Pagkatapos naman nun, i-condition ko sila na yung kasi nakapikit sila. Tapos, biglang kung ano yung paparamdam ko sa kanila, kung ano yung gusto kong iparamdam nila, ng dahan-dahan. Doon nagsisimula yung pagkakaroon ng trance ng isang tao. Kasi naniniwala na sila doon sa kung ano yung sinasabi ng isang tao. Kasi vulnerable sila nung time na yun. Pag nagawa na yung lahat ng yun, doon na magsisimula yung pakikipag-usap sa kanya, yung pagpapersuade sa kanya, kunwari na itong bagay na to, mabuti yan para sa'yo. Uulit-ulitin mo sa kanya, ipapaintindi mo sa kanya na hindi yan makakasama para sa kanya, nang paulit-ulit. Tapos, habang tatanungin siya kung okay ba siya, kung ano nararamdaman niya sa mga pinagsasabi mo. So, pag hin-hypnotize mo sila, hindi lang ikaw yung gumagawa ng trabaho, pati sila. Kailangan maniwala sila sa pinagsasabi mo. Then, pagkatapos nun, itetest mo na sila. Kunwari, takot sila sa dilim. E di, ipapasok mo sila sa isang lugar na madilim. Tapos, hahayaan mo sila na magtagal doon kung anong mararamdaman nila. Then, paulit-ulit mong sasabihin sa kanila na kung ano yung mga sinabi mo noong una na okay lang yan. Then, sa kanila, tatanggapin nila yun. Pagkatapos na nun, papalabasin mo na sa kanila, tapos tanong mo sila kung anong feedback nila, kung okay ba sila o hindi.
During our research about these creatures, we were lucky enough to speak to Dr. Robert Raven, an expert in the fear of arachnids. There is no better way to face our fears than to be surrounded by live spiders. Hello, sir. Could you please tell us how you became a living spider expert?
Well, I began to study spiders by myself. After a few years I did a PhD on a particular group of spiders, and with that PhD I was able to go to the American Museum of Natural History in New York, where I spent a year studying and becoming an authority on the trapdoor and tarantula and funnel web spiders of the world.
Can you tell us about your experiences on spiders and any possible childhood fears when you were young?
When I was quite young, I don't know how young, my father, who was a mining engineer, would tell me stories about going into caves and disused mine shafts, and there were spider webs all through the cave's entrance and mine shaft entrance, and he would talk about lighting a flaming newspaper and burning the spiders down as he walked in, the webs down, and the webs would fall down the back of his neck. Now when you tell a child of the right age this, a fear sets in.
How did you overcome it?
By studying them, by commanding the knowledge of which ones are dangerous and which ones are not. The problem is that the fear that I have is still there. I've discovered that through just an accident that happened when I recognise that what I do is that I put up a conscious guard. I'm in control most of the time, and when I put that guard down and relax and go to bed, then that guard is no longer there in some circumstances, and I can react just like someone who's normally afraid of spiders.
Why did you think that people had a natural fear on spiders?
Well, I don't know that people have a natural fear of spiders. I think that the spiders, a lot of the spiders that we see, particularly huntsman spiders, move sideways or move in a way that people don't recognise will happen. They don't have any experience with them, and the spider moves in an unpredictable direction. Now, we are born with certain natural fears, and one of the fears is falling. Okay, and you can simulate that fear by sitting too close to the theatre in the movies and watching some of those early ads where there's high speed action, short clips, and you can't focus. And the effect of not being able to focus is the same as what happens when you're falling. And I think that's the fear that spiders trigger. It's the movement that causes the disturbance. Well, there are at least 38,000 species of spiders described from the world, and probably about 5 species or 5 groups of species or genera are potentially are capable of killing, and the death is not usually so fast, so that there's always some degree of medical intervention that can occur and reduce the fear. Bees kill a lot more people than spiders every year because of the shock from the bee stings. Equally with ticks, they're quite dangerous, but they're little guys and they don't get in the way.
So just what happened when you get bitten by a spider? First, you'll feel intense pain around the bite. You may start to get tingling around your mouth, muscle twitching, vomiting, and shortness of breath. That makes over the range of 15 minutes to 3 days. If you spot one, don't aggravate, cause it will not back down. It will assume an aggressive stance and defend itself violently if necessary.